You're listening to the VegasTours.com podcast, episode number 251, Going to the Jamboree. Dum-da-dum. That music you heard was Carl Safe Sacks Ferris. You can see him sometimes down on the Fremont Street Experience. Sitting across from me is my beautiful, wonderful little wife, Miss Debbie. Want to say hi, Debbie?
Hi, Debbie. Hi, Debbie.
Can't shut you up and can't not hear you until you get in front of a microphone, and then you turn into this mouse. Do you know?
Once again.
That our last podcast was in August?
Oh, my goodness. We suck.
Never mind. This is episode 251, brand new year. For those of you that are wondering, for those of you that visit the website, you're wondering where my post is for CES day number 2. First of all, CES was a huge hit this year.
Yeah.
Consumer Electronics Show. Second day. Normally I can do that show in one day because I just, I just want to catch the highlights. But this year, they had so many freaking highlights with...
So many fun gadgets to play with.
Oh, my God. Artificial intelligence, the robots, literally, they have a suitcase that can follow you wherever you go.
Just
okay?
What we need.
All right. And they were showing these 3 screens that you stood in front of. And it looked like the airport. You had walked up to these 3 monitors, and one of them was like out of the Terminator, and it was the video image of you standing in front of the video screen. Mm-hmm. And it had all of these things going on, pointing out what was walking past the camera, whether it was a man, woman, long legs, short legs, brown pants, whatever. Okay, it was doing body recognition. Not just facial recognition, but, okay. Second one was a heat map. What part of your body was hot, okay? Which is kind of interesting, but all of this was to show off the suitcase, which was really freaky because it uses all of that to follow you. So as you're going through the airport, this carry-on bag is right alongside of you like a dog, but it knows whether or not it's you or somebody else.
So you could have a pet suitcase instead of a pet dog?
Exactly.
Oh, that would be so much better. You don't have to house train it or nothing.
No. But they had that technology for a freaking suitcase.
Wow.
All right. So, yeah. You're watching this, and then, like I saw it wasn't for Amazon, but it was. Okay. Basically, the robots for shopping. Or warehouses, where this little robot can run down a hallway and, it knows exactly where it needs to go, and then the arm will come up and grab
it's called a pick and pack system.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, and you're watching this, and this is at the consumer level now. This is not at the industrial level.
Wow.
This is for you and I, and...
So you just get kind of like going to McDonald's now. When you place your order now on the screen, you can walk into a store like Kmart and say, hey, or not Kmart anymore, but Walmart or something, and say, I want this and this and this, and they'll run out there and pick it all for you and bring it to you?
Put it to you this way. You'll be able to walk in to McDonald's and you walk up to the screen, because you don't walk up to the counter anymore.
No, you don't walk to the counter anymore.
That screen will go, hi, Debbie, how are you? Oh, your body is a little cold, so, don't worry about it.
Like a cup of coffee?
Yep. Yeah. Do you want your last order that you bought
2 weeks ago? Mm-hmm.
2 weeks ago?
I see you were here 2 weeks ago. Would you like the same thing?
Or take it one step farther. You were at the McDonald's in Utah. Why were you there?
Oh, that's going to make me angry. Why? Why is that your business? Mind your business, machine.
But that's basically where it's at now on the consumer level.
But Doesn't that kind of freak you out?
Yes,
a
it
little
is.
bit that we're losing our privacy.
Oh, we
that way?
lost that years ago.
Yeah, but it's getting worse and
Yes.
worse and worse. Where do you draw
Yes.
the line on privacy issues?
They had a setup with a screen about the size of the wall behind you. This 80 or 120 inch screen with a camera that you would have like outside your house. Okay, to watch who's at your front door.
Right.
Okay. Again, it wasn't Amazon, but it was. This works with she who cannot be named.
Oh yeah, her,
Yeah. Okay.
the girlfriend.
The girlfriend. People were walking by, and this camera was picking up whether you were male or female, your hair,
height, your weight.
your hair, and
Had you been there before?
and they were accurate. They were.
So if it was one of our kids, like if our daughter came by, they'd say, "Hi, daughter," and
Yeah. In
welcome back.
In this environment, because of the privacy and all that stuff, it would black out faces, but it would say, like
Their
me,
name.
6'2". How did it say? I was between 50 and 55 years old.
Wow.
Weighing,
Well, at least it was kind.
yeah. And it was within 5 pounds of my weight
Wow.
and the color of my hair. It had enough of a description that you could.
You were like, wow.
Yes, and that was just people walking by. Okay.
So you're not going to be able to get away with much anymore.
No.
In this world.
But I sat there watching all this, and I went, people living in Vegas today, the kids going to school here in Vegas are so screwed. We have the worst school district in the nation. We are pumping out stupid children.
Well, now they're not even required, they're not even teaching them how to handwrite.
No.
Cursive anymore.
So
they can't read the Declaration of Independence or print their own name. They can't write their own signature to sign a document. So what does that say about where we're going as a society?
But I was watching all of this, and I'm like, okay, Vegas is screwed. Our kids coming out of school because we don't want to put any more money into the teachers. This generation there's going to be two outcomes. Either you're going to work for a robot or you're going to work with a robot. Pure and simple.
Or you're going to help operate the robot.
Yeah, well
system.
yeah, but see, that's working with it. Mm-hmm. But either,
Well, but it's been going that way for a very long time,
right,
though.
but we're
Technology
there.
is taking over
But we're
everything.
there.
It's called a dynamic business environment.
Right, but it's not. But it's not the science fiction.
No, yeah.
And from what I saw at CES, it is at the level where mom and pop businesses can have all this.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're going to have to keep up.
Right. So.
Well, it makes it hard for an entrepreneur who wants to start a new business, though, because
No. See.
No?
See.
Well, what if it's somebody who doesn't understand this technology and doesn't?
Then they're fucked.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm getting to.
And our whole country is founded on entrepreneurs and small businesses.
Right. So
where's this going to go?
But see, okay, there were a couple of us at CES that got into this. Boy, this is not where I wanted this podcast to go.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. But anyway, at the same time, for the smart entrepreneur, the niche marketing or niche is going to be such a huge market because you're going to be able to niche down to, the left-handed monkey wrench type of a deal where you can operate a business that caters to your neighborhood, that caters to a very specific market because that kind of a narrowing down to it, where it's not that I print business cards for X. For florists, okay? It's going to be that narrow of a niche for the entrepreneurs, and it's going to be profitable. Those, if
it goes the way you're talking about, people are going to be able to print their own business cards.
Well, 2 years ago, 3D printing was the big, the new
deal.
thing there.
Yeah.
Now,
why aren't people creating their own toothpicks?
They are.
We haven't started. What the heck? We're behind the times.
Which is what I'm saying is if you have a neighborhood like ours, Okay, we got the junk collectors down the street. We got the food cart across from us. We've got the agriculture guy
across the street,
right?
That wants to grow his plants in the front yard.
Right. Okay. So if somebody came in with a 3D printer, right there, he's got enough clientele to run a 3D print shop. You know, somebody just walks up and go, "Hey, I need this made." Okay, cool, done. You know, give me 2 hours, and I'll have you whatever it is that you want, because I can do it with my 3D printer. My first day was just that.
Playing with the gadgets.
Oh my God, I had never been so overwhelmed.
Our dining room table is still covered in them.
No, it's not. Second day, I was over to the central hall, which was the living area, which is televisions and kitchens and all that, and automotive. Unfortunately, the reason I don't have a second day up is because about halfway through, my left ankle wanted to go one direction and my right ankle wanted to go the other one, and that was it.
I would call that severe ADD, when your squirrels start heading in different directions.
Physically going.
Physically?
Yes. So it's like I got about halfway through of what I wanted to do, and it's like, I'm going home. My ankles were like, no.
Going.
But I will have the videos up because there's going to be a video part of this podcast. I put the post up on Instagram of walking into LG, the LG brand, and they had just this wall of 4K visuals that just...
It would have made me cry.
Oh, my God. It was awesome.
You know, that's my dream.
Yeah. But it's like, again, 2 years ago, the 80-inch flat screens had a big base on it because that's where... Now it's just an 80-inch screen
the whole TV is like 1.5 inches thick.
Yeah, that you literally hang on a freaking wall.
Yeah. You could probably do it with those little stickums that you can buy
I
at
wouldn't
Walmart.
doubt it. I really wouldn't doubt it. Oh, my God. It was just like, holy shit, the whole... I mean...
That's my dream. Oh, that 4K TV. Oh, plasma. No, not plasma.
No, God, they're so far past plasma TVs.
Not the plasma. What was the UQ thing
that
I wanted?
Yeah, it doesn't come across on my one video, but I mean, you're looking at this 4K high definition dynamic television screen that
Samsung Q or something.
That you literally, as you're watching this waterfall, you're actually expecting to get wet.
Yeah, I mean, you really reach in and want to touch the
you
water
do.
with your hands. It's like, wow.
You do. It was just,
I want that on our walls. So
yeah, it's just so.
I get goosebumps thinking about it. Oh.
And then I hobbled over to the automotive section, and again, the whole 3D. I need a new key. Boom. 3D printed. Got it. All right. Whatever it is.
I want to get to the point where I just tell my car where to take me, and it just.
That's like last year's technology. Okay.
My car don't do that. Well, it does in the mornings.
Yeah,
but
it does that. But Bell, the manufacturers of helicopters, had their version of Uber, which is this drone with four fan blades and this living room, basically. Okay, and it's like a U-shaped couch in this little cube, and then it's got 4 blades attached to it, and and it can fly you all over. So, I mean, it's like the future of Uber. Okay,
ooh, I can't wait.
It's the Jetsons.
Yeah,
but it's not science fiction. It's not. This is what we're working on. This is what we have.
Wow.
Where
now, when will it be affordable and everybody has one?
Well,
and how many of them are going to fall out of the sky onto somebody?
Well, see, again, that was part of the whole. The governments have got to catch up to the technology.
Yeah, because they're still trying to get the FAA to control drone usage,
right?
Aren't they?
Yeah.
They don't even know what to do with all this.
Yeah. So, second day, I got basically almost half of the entire event walked, and my ankle just went. Yeah,
we're done.
We're done. Okay, all right. But anyway, so yeah, that's why there's not a day to it, because I just haven't had. I haven't had the time, and B, I was just so overwhelmed with
and see, your birthday came about, and we ended up running out of town to go play.
Which is
with 600 other
right.
Jeeps, 599 other Jeeps.
So anyway, yeah, my birthday came up, and we really weren't sure what we were going to do. Even up to the end, I really wasn't sure what we wanted to do. That
I know. I kept asking you, and it was like
the problem was that weekend, Pacquiao was having another payday.
We were having a boxing match in Vegas.
No.
There wasn't a room available.
Pacquiao doesn't do boxing matches. They just find someone to dance in the ring with him for 10 or 15 minutes, pay him $10 million and pay.
Do this little performance,
right.
And then boom.
You know. I'm sorry. Pacquiao has become Pacquiao. Whatever. He is now literally one of those little
jokes.
He is. It's like, okay, let's put him in a ring and we'll give him $100 million, and he dances around for us, and then
like the dancing chicken.
Exactly.
People pay to go see it.
It's not a boxing match. It's just okay.
How much did the other guy get paid to fall down?
Yeah, it's like let's find some third-rate boxer that needs, that really doesn't.
Yeah, who's willing to do this? Who's willing to get in the
which goes back to the days of Mike Tyson, where Mike Tyson would knock you out in 90 seconds, where Pacquiao dances around for a while and he puts on a good show.
Give people their money's worth.
Yeah, it's really not boxing. It's just Pacquiao and someone that they found that will dance with him for 10 minutes, and we give him $1 million. Anyway, Circus was selling rooms for $200 a night.
Yes, Circus.
Hotels in Boulder City were $200 a night.
And everything was full.
Yes.
I couldn't even, when I went looking, I couldn't even find anything, even the $200 ones that were available.
So just out of the blue, a photographer buddy of ours, Garrett Winslow, popped up and said, "Hey, I'm heading out of town to the 4x4 Jamboree. I'll see you all next week." And I just went, 4x4? Yep. Whoop. Huh? I have a Jeep now.
And I'm looking for something to do this weekend.
This was the winter 4x4 Jamboree in southern Utah. It was up in
Hurricane, Utah.
Right, which is right outside of St. George. We're there, buddy.
And it was a nice way to spend a weekend,
too. It was
quiet. It was inexpensive.
2 hours out of town. Mm-hmm. So there, plus it was our first time with,
Yeah, we walked in as complete greenhorn newbies.
We
had no idea what we were doing.
And
there were vendors there that taught you about how to do lighting and what options are out there.
It was.
For us newbies, we had a blast learning and seeing
meeting
all
the people
options
and
talking to different Jeep owners and what they've done and checking out all the different Jeeps and all the different options.
Oh my God. I told you it's a Barbie doll.
It really was. It's like, oh, do we want to go that way or do we want to go this way? How far do you want to lift it? What kind of stuff do we want on it? Do we want to go this way or do we want to go that way?
Do you want the lights or colored lights? Or
do you want the colored lights? Or
do you want the lights to spin? Do you want
the bar above the windshield, or do you want it above the grill? Or do you want the side lights?
Do you want the buttons or the flippers? Or how do you want to power this?
And do you want to go with new taillights? You've got to get the two new taillights with the center light that's brighter and flashes.
Yeah, it's just all that. And
oh my gosh, yeah, we were so overwhelmed with all the different things.
And then, so we got up there, we checked in, knew we were really virgins.
Yes.
They're like, so what do you have on your Jeep? Tires?
Tires. New tires. We upgraded our tires.
Yeah.
We got satellite. And we were very proud of that.
Yeah. And they're like, and? I washed it.
And they're asking you what kind of engine you got in it. Is it an SRS or is it an RT or whatever? And we're like,
we don't climb walls. Let's put it that way,
no,
okay?
we are not a rock climber. They literally have rock climbers.
So they have these guided trails at Sandy Hollow State Park, and they have them from what I call the bunny trail. No,
we actually, the one you signed us up for was one step up from the bunny trail.
Yeah, they had an opening in Lower Trail. And now it's nice because they do they do have requirements for for each of the trails as they go up, you know.
Yeah, you were required to have certain things.
Yeah, it's like, okay, we don't have, we don't lift. It's not lifted. We don't have the outside roll cage. We don't have, okay.
We do have four-wheel drive.
Yep. Okay, this is the trail for you.
Yep,
okay.
You have to have a flag on the back. So, we don't have one. Where do we get one?
Yep.
Well, they're $15 over there.
Yep. We got our feet wet. And then we checked into the hotel.
Yep.
Which was Wyndham Garden, whatever it was.
It was a nice little hotel.
Yes, it was. It's equivalent to a Holiday Inn. Now, this is Hurricane, Utah, all right, which is right outside of Zion. It's the middle of January. You have a parking lot full of four-wheel drive vehicles.
And, I mean, packed full. You've seen the little required flags for this Jamboree everywhere. We couldn't even count them.
And so when we check in, they're like, so are you here for something? Yeah, it's the Jamboree. And they're looking at us going, the what?
I was blown away that she was completely clueless.
I am so, yeah.
She also looked like she probably is in high school. I mean, she looked like she might have been 19.
I'm sorry, you're still at the front desk. This isn't Vegas where you have
a population of what, 250 people in Hurricane?
You're either going to go to Zion or you're there
for an event,
or you're a Mormon.
You have a few options.
Okay, it just coming from the customer service background, it just irritates me when your front line is clueless.
Mm-hmm. We're having a Jamboree. What is it?
What's a 4x4? What wasn't quite that bad.
Wasn't.
All right. So anyway,
we only have 90-minute tours, not hour-and-a-half tours.
Yeah, that one. Okay, so okay, nice room. It was a nice room, and then we went to dinner at
Outback.
Outback, that's right.
One of our children gave us a gift card for Christmas, so we decided to use that for your birthday dinner.
And then, now at check-in, they gave us a quick lesson on the remote controls for the TV. I did not pay attention to it because I'm figuring it's a TV, it's a remote control. I do not need a class on it, but you do.
You really did.
And this...
And he got mad enough that the TV almost ended up on the balcony or in the pool. I'm not sure which.
You'll see this in upcoming photos. It may be on the YouTube, but you have the big remote with the 200 buttons on it.
Mm-hmm. But you only use 2.
That was strictly for on, off, and volume.
That's it.
Seriously. You have this universal remote control with 200 buttons on it, but only the power and the volume are necessary.
Yep. Once you push the power button on, you set it aside to use the other ones.
The second remote was for Roku.
Or it was for regular TV, Roku, or Netflix, whatever. You had options.
You had 3 options.
Yeah, it was 3 options.
Roku,
regular
Netflix,
TV.
And then you could log on to the hotel's television channel.
Yeah.
Which I'm sitting there going, you have a remote with 200 buttons on it, and it does 2 things. You have a remote control with 3 buttons on it, and that does 10 things. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't working.
No, their TV system, the hotel TV was down.
No,
was down.
Keep my darling wife quiet while I set up what we're about to go over.
I will try.
First of all, I was frustrated at the fact that you have this remote control with 200 buttons on it, and it's only good for off, on, and volume. You got this other remote control, which brings up Roku, Netflix, if you have an account, and then their cable or satellite or whatever it was. You and I have not had a weekend alone for God knows how long.
A very long time, yes.
This was going to be our weekend alone.
Yes.
My birthday.
Yes, our little private getaway with no dogs in our bed or no nothing.
Unfortunately, our neighbors were really loud, and it wasn't anything interesting.
No, it was boring noise.
Either that or the walls are paper thin. Mm-hmm. Either way, I was looking because we were winding down. Mm-hmm. We were going to start to get romantic.
Yep. Get our showers
in.
Yeah,
so it's like during this time I wanted a little TV noise because I didn't want to hear them.
Right.
Thankfully, you remembered our password into Netflix.
Yes.
That's the only thing that saved this entire weekend.
And actually, I didn't remember it. I had my Kindle with me, so I was able to get on my Kindle and look and find the password.
Right. All I wanted was some noise until both of us got our nightly whatever done. Mm-hmm. And then we could have the night all to ourselves. Yeah. No dogs in the bed.
And remember why we like each other.
That's right. That's right. And I flip on Peter Rabbit.
The new movie, Peter Rabbit.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want a hilarious, family-friendly movie that you will
get completely sucked into, and it will totally ruin a romantic evening because you will laugh so hard and you will totally have a great time.
Peter Rabbit.
Peter Rabbit is the bomb.
This was freaking hilarious.
Oh, we laughed so hard. It was actually a very enjoyable evening.
It
but it
was.
did not go the way we
it was.
planned.
Both of us are laying in bed, just and.
And the thing was, we had to get up early the next morning for that Jamboree. We had to be there early before sunrise. Yeah. And
we're in our hotel.
We're up until midnight watching this freaking movie.
Yeah, because we didn't want to turn it off.
We just wanted noise for a few minutes, and we got sucked into it.
Seriously, family friendly. The adults will love it. The kids will love it.
I can't wait to watch it with the grandkids.
Oh my God! It just. And for those of you that are into special effects, character this movie will suck you in as well.
Yeah.
You literally think that the rabbits are real.
Yeah, you really kind of do.
Again, I go back.
The comedy. Oh my!
But I go back to CES. The technology is there that it was just so believable.
Yeah, and it actually usually those kind of movies that combine real people and animation.
You can usually tell,
unless it's Mary Poppins or something like that.
Right.
It's kind of fake and jokey, but
yeah,
this one sucked me in completely, and I was laughing. I
yes.
don't think I've laughed.
Plus, the whole storyline is freaking hilarious.
Oh, so funny.
Yeah. So yeah, our one night away from the house, alone in a hotel in a different town. What are we doing?
Yeah,
watching Peter Rabbit.
Peter Rabbit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're very ashamed of ourselves. So it's been our running joke all week about the romance in our relationship. So Peter Rabbit came between us.
Yeah. So bright and early before sunrise the next morning, when it's still got frost on the windshield, it's still dark as.
And we were up till after midnight watching Peter Rabbit.
We loaded the Jeep up and we went to McDonald's because nothing else in Hurricane, a tourist town, nothing is open until 8 a.m. except for McDonald's.
Subway. Breakfast at Subway was not available.
Nothing except for the McDonald's, which is attached to a Terrible Herbs gas station, which is where we got into a conversation with a local about Molly or Mary's nipple.
The two gentlemen, two old guys from there. That was a fun little conversation with them.
Because
the two old men that you find always sitting somewhere reading
in the coffee shop.
Reading the morning papers in their overalls and having their morning coffee. Oh, that was so cute.
Yes, because for those of you that know about Molly's nipple, they
said
Hurricane has the other nipple. And I was always told that one was married. The one.
Okay, you need to start at the beginning and explain that the nipple is not really a nipple, but a little mountain.
It's Molly's nipple is a dormant volcano. There's actually 7 of them in our area, but Molly and Mary are the 2 most famous ones because they're literally 300 miles apart.
And if you see it from way up in the sky, it looks like a set, right?
And so when I take my tours to the Grand Canyon, when we cross the Hoover Dam Bridge, we're up on the other side. Off in the distance is this volcano cone that looks like a small breast with a big nipple on it.
It really does.
And
first time you showed me, I was like, "Yep."
And I used to not bring it out, but I just got tired of watching my guests kind of do the wink and the nod to whoever's sitting next to them, going, that looks like, and I'm like, it is.
It's actually a more fun tour when you actually point it out, and
right.
It's comical, the reaction.
It is actually the geologist that I've talked to said that it's representative of, or it is a perfect volcano. The volcano erupted, and then stopped erupting, and it sealed itself off, and that's how it got its nipple. But there's 7 of them in our area. Molly and Mary are the two
Are the twins?
The twins, right? Perfect set. Anyway, so now, okay. So anyway, we show up. It's what, 6:30?
It wasn't even that because the sun hadn't rose yet. In fact, it was very enjoyable for a photographer to watch the sunrise over 600 Jeeps.
Yes.
It was beautiful out there, the red dirt. And,
Last year they had this is the 5th year of this event, which blew me away because it's so well organized.
And we never knew anything about it.
Right. But last year they had over 600 off-road vehicles, most of them Jeeps. This year they were over that. They weren't sure what the count was yet.
Number was.
But yeah, so it's cold up there. It's okay. But you have
until the sun came up. Then it wasn't so bad. It was beautiful.
But it was just so cool because each line was a different tour.
Yeah, and there was like 27 lines.
Yeah. And it really wasn't a tour as it was because you had a tour leader in front, you had a tour guide in back, and
vehicles.
Right. And okay, yes, tour in the fact that you follow each other, but yes, so
and you broke your cherry.
I broke my cherry because
you got to drive your car through sand and mud and hills and valleys.
Our tour was the Voyager tour, which just fits me perfectly.
Perfect.
We got to see the other guys.
Yes, we got to stop. We'd drive for a while and go up little hills and valleys and through the sand, and then stop and watch the rock climbers and the crazy people who spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on their vehicle, and then spend a whole day trying to get up over boulders that are 20 feet tall and see if they can do it without flipping over.
Yes, or blowing up.
Yeah, and that one didn't do so well. He ended up on his side and blowing black smoke and green fluid out of the back.
And the cool thing is there was no judgment.
No, everybody was so friendly, and so it was just like a bunch of friends getting together for a picnic out, just to have a good time. You had folks like us who just got a Jeep, and the only modification we had was a Sirius radio and new tires and wheels.
Right.
There was another couple out there just like that. They just got their Jeep 3 months ago.
Yeah.
So they were new like we were.
And then you're right behind some guy that has this Jeep that has basically the Star Trek command center in back.
Well, in the front and the back. That one guy who had the whole cabinet thing built in there with drawers and stuff, and a fridge built in that could be pulled out on a track. Yeah. And I'm like, holy crap, this man could live in his Jeep. Literally live in it. He pulls out drawers and he's pulling out knives and compressors. These are folks that go out for days. There's first aid kits mounted to the side of it and a shovel going down one side. And I'm like, I wonder. He's like Go-Go Gadget in the Jeep community. Yeah. Yes. And then, like you were saying, you had those guys that had $100,000 involved in a Jeep that or a vehicle that had 4 wheels, like a Razor, and they were going to go up a side of a wall. Yeah, and it really looks like a giant lizard when it starts doing it because each one of those wheels had a complete brain of its own. Right. It just does its own thing. I'm like, how do you drive one of those things? Meanwhile, as you're watching this, and you'll see on the video and on the photos, you got this beautiful landscape. Yeah, and there was a lake there. You had the mountain with the snow, which was either next to or behind Zion, depending upon which way you looked at it. So it got all this beauty. And all the red sand, and they had got a lot of rain, so all the sand was wetted down. Thankfully. So we had no dust. It was just a beautiful day. And it felt good because being the fact that I've never done this before, the confidence you get because you got these people around you. Yeah. If you get stranded. And you got behind one of those experts. So, right. And halfway through, you were following him most of the way. And then about halfway through that tour that day, you just started going off on your own. It's like, I'm on my own, baby. I got this. I got this. And I'm like, yep. He's no longer. But they showed you how to lower tires. That was funny. How to air down. You got to air down your tires. Huh? We got to what? Huh? We didn't even have a tire gauge or none of that stuff to do it with. And then had we stuck with them, they would have aired up for us. But
But anyway.
Thank God for Discount Tire.
Yes. But, and then at one of the overlooks, there's another group there that was they do 4x4 modifications. So they were out making a promotional video. So they had their drones out there, and they were taking their Jeeps.
Well, and dirt bikes. They were riding dirt bikes up. And that hill that they were trying to climb had to be
that was just
3 stories, probably at least 2 stories high, with probably, I'm going to guess, a 50-degree angle there,
yeah.
And it was all sand. So they were taking turns. I sit there and watched them, taking turns, gunning it and running up that hill in a dirt bike and seeing how far they could get up before they'd have to turn around and go back down because they couldn't make it to the top.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And filming it while they did it with drones. So.
Right.
Is that good enough? Nope, you got to turn around, do it again.
And then it was so funny because where we had stopped for lunch, we were right behind that white Jeep.
Yeah.
There was this just shiny white Jeep, and it was a family, and so I had walked up to a big, I'm like, why would you want a white Jeep?
Which is what we looked at first before we got yours.
And the lady goes, well, normally I just drive it to the shopping mall and the grocery store. That's it. I'm on a lot of drugs right now, and I'm not driving.
I'm fully medicated, she said.
Yeah. Otherwise, no, it does not see dirt. I'm like, okay, got it.
Well, that's what you get for buying a Jeep. You come home with a Jeep. Hubby's going, yeah, guess what we get to do?
Guess what we get to do? But it was so fun because the people were just fantastic.
There was no attitude, no, you didn't see anybody being, I'm better than you because mine's cooler than yours.
Yeah.
No arrogance, no nothing. Everything
they were all like,
just,
this
is cool. It took me a while before I could get this and this, but this is where you want to start out. Hey, come see my stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody was just absolutely awesome, like you'd been buddies for years.
Yeah. It was that whole, this is where I got this. This is why I got that. Mm-hmm.
And we've been struggling with your satellite radio with the antenna to turn, sometimes the music goes in and out. And that one guy that was packed to the nines with everything under the sun, we were talking to him about, how does he deal with that? And he goes, oh, no, I have the same problem. And he showed where he had his antenna mounted. Yeah. And it was in the same place you have yours.
Right.
And I'm like, well, shoot, now I don't feel so bad.
Yeah.
If somebody like that has the same issue, then at least we know we're doing it right.
Right.
That it's an issue with satellite radios.
There was the guy with the, I want to say the Toyota 4Runner, I think, which was basically stock like ours, and he was from Vegas. He's like, oh, yeah, you got, here's a trail, there's a trail and all that. And,
oh, yeah, him.
Yeah. Mr. Amazon.
Yeah.
He loved Amazon. You and him were like buddies because of Amazon.
There's nothing you can't get on Amazon.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So go find that and then go on Amazon.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we got along well.
Yes, you did. Thankfully, the sand was wet because
because I think I'd have had more trouble with breathing and stuff like that had there been a lot of dust out there. But
and then it's like
it wasn't. And once the sun came up, the weather was beautiful out there, so we were able to roll the windows down.
Yeah.
Ride and just enjoy the fresh air.
And then just watch those idiots. I mean, those other people.
Yeah, those brave people. Those brave, crazy people who obviously have more money than they have sense. But
I liked. Unfortunately, it didn't come out on my video, but when they were doing the really extreme
rock climbers,
there was one that we were watching. The kid was like 10, and it was so funny because there's these adults standing next to me going, we're looking down and they're like, he's like 10. He's going to go up that mountain in that thing? And I'm like, and? Like, oh, my God.
Well, it's just like race car drivers. When you see a guy get out of one of these race cars at NASCAR.
Or PBR.
Or PBR. They all look like they just they're still wet behind the ears, that they just left junior high school.
Yeah.
They age well.
So, yeah, it was.
But you're braver when you're that age.
Yeah, you are.
You think you're invincible still.
Yes.
So had we started into this when we were young, I think I'd have been a lot more gung ho into doing it.
Yeah, but we didn't have the money, and we didn't have
or each other, or
yeah.
Or actually, I didn't
We had
know
other
anything
things to
about
buy.
this.
Yeah, we had other things to buy.
I was into other stuff.
Yeah. So it was a really cool weekend. Again, it's one of those things. 2 hours outside of Vegas.
Yeah.
That's it.
It turned out to be, for somebody who didn't have any plans for his birthday or couldn't come
All of
up
a sudden,
with something.
there we were.
You had it fell into place.
It was a fun weekend.
Mm-hmm.
In 2 weeks, the Kanab Balloon Festival is back in Kanab. If you want to go,
I asked your granddaughter if they wanted to come with us when we were in the car together, and
Yeah.
she goes, "No." She didn't even hesitate.
Really?
Oh yeah, no, it was too cold.
Too cool.
They froze, and she said no. And so you want to ask your brother if he wants? No.
Okay, got that one answered. So
I got a feeling he might want to go though. I think he liked it a little bit better, but she was cold.
yeah,
She's an indoor girl.
yeah. He's more of that. Okay, but don't tell anyone that I like this. Okay.
Yeah, he's like, don't tell mom and dad that I like being outdoors.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I want them to think I'm on their side.
yeah. So
I think Caleb might enjoy it. Caleb would like getting out. He's more of an outdoor kid.
okay. So that's what we've been up to. Now, hopefully, we'll be doing more of this. You're going to see more of the Jeep on Instagram and Facebook if you follow us there. The Vegas Tourist, of course.
.com.
So when somebody asks me why the new tagline for the Vegas Tourist is, for things to do in Vegas and beyond, this is one of those things that is beyond Vegas. It's 2 hours outside of Vegas. Utah has so much outdoor activity going out there. Mm-hmm. And in Vegas,
and there's a lot of beautiful scenery, even if you're not really looking to go.
No.
You're not really looking to go hang out with a bunch of people or do anything that costs a lot of money. You just want to go and
drive around,
explore something gorgeous.
Yeah.
Boy, we could point you in a lot of beautiful places.
Yeah. Get out of town. Come into Vegas. And they rent the off-road, they rent Jeeps here. They rent SUVs here. Mm-hmm. Okay. Jump in one, go up, see Valley of Fire, go see Red Rock, go out to Death Valley, go up to Utah, go see Zion.
Or as I keep telling my wonderful husband, he should start his own private Jeep tours.
We can do that.
I think people would love it.
We've got the room.
Yep. And we've got the knowledge.
We got the knowledge. Call me. We'll talk. All right.
How many of you out there would be interested? Show us some numbers.
That's right. Let's go off-road.
Yeah, let's see.
Let's show you the wild side of Vegas.
How much interest we could drag into it. Maybe we can talk him into starting his own business.
See, and again, go. Yes, like I said, the next adventure I want to do is Cold Creek, up by the Wild Mustangs, across to Pahrump.
Yeah.
Stop off at Death Valley Junction, see the ghosts.
I'll try to see the ghosts. Sometimes they don't cooperate.
Yeah, all right. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them on the board. You can find more information at thevegastourist.com. Like this video / podcast. If you have any desire to know more, just hit us up at The Vegas Tourist. My beautiful wife, you want to say good night?
Ciao.
Ciao. I love you. I love you, too. Ciao. So, yeah, that's how we spent my birthday weekend, and we're going to do it all over again. So,
yay. Can't wait.
TheVegasTourist.com. See you all next time.
Bye.
It's getting